Hey y'all, my name is Danielle and I am a diamond leader with It Works Global. Tonight, I just kind of wanted to share my story with you. I have no makeup on right now because I know at some point I'm going to cry and I would rather not put like mascara from everywhere. So I joined the company in January of 2015, the very end of the month. And 64 days later, I went Ruby. And I will tell you, I had no intention of going Ruby. I didn't think it was possible to go Ruby. I really just thought, if I could make 100 or 200 extra dollars a month, that would help us with groceries. Just something small. I was not dreaming big at all. Like Ruby was like a long-term kind of goal for me. Like maybe in a year I'll hit Ruby. And when I did it, I kind of took a step back and was like, whoa, what just happened there? And so from there, I just continued to share the product. I hadn't wrapped because I was pregnant at the time. I was 14 weeks pregnant when I joined. I wrapped my husband and saw crazy results, like ridiculous. Like I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like rubbing them, like what, kind of thing. And he, I just shared his picture with people. I was like, look at this. Like I'm using the stretch mark cream. I haven't gotten any new stretch marks. Just super excited about it. And I continued to share the product. A few months later, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia. I ended up having very severe preeclampsia and was in the hospital for a few days. And they finally, told me, you're going to have to deliver this baby. And I was very on edge. My husband wasn't with me. He was working. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I remember just sending him a text, like, we're having a baby today. And he called me immediately, and I'm just, tears are pouring. Because at the time, we didn't have a savings account. We were living paycheck to paycheck. Even after hitting Ruby, it was still somewhat of a struggle for us. We were just barely getting by. And, I was freaked out because we didn't have anything saved up. This baby's coming 5 weeks early, and what other kind of complications are going to come along with that? That's, really what was going through my mind. But she was born, 4 pounds, 12 ounces, so tiny. And, we had this new little life that we needed to take care of. And that fueled me even more. I knew that I needed to do something to increase my business. And I took a few weeks off taking care of her, and I said, we got to go for it. We're going for diamond. That was my goal. It was at least let's hit emerald, and then let's go diamond. And this was back in June of last year. So we worked for it, and I wasn't getting there. Just wasn't getting there. I was like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing this? So then I'm trying 10 million other things and just was not getting anywhere. I finally, in August, decided, I really need to buckle down. What are we going to do to change this? How am I going to grow my business? And I did. I started growing, and my team started growing, and I was, talking to more people, and things were going really well. I was charted for Emerald. I was ready to go Emerald. And we were doing well. It wasn't happening in the time frame that I thought it should happen in. So then in September, about mid-September, my husband and I started talking because it was coming up on about my 12 weeks of maternity leave coming to an end. And I was like, what are we going to do? Am I going back to work? Am I not going back to work? I wasn't replacing my income at the time, so it wasn't really making sense for me to be able to stay home full time yet. And we collectively made the decision to go back to work, but that I was only going to go 2 days a week. And, so that meant that someone else was watching my kids. And that was big for me. Prior to having any kids, prior to having my son or having my daughter, I always thought that I wanted to be a working mom. I never thought I wanted to stay home with them. I guess you don't really know until you're in that position. And that's when things really, really changed for me, was when I had 2 little two little babies. I had two and under. So my son was 2 and she was just born and going nonstop, y'all. And I'm really just trying not to cry right now. I went back to work in October, very beginning of October. And a few weeks later, I was working. My husband was working. We worked at the same restaurant at the time. And we got a phone call. And we got a phone call that said that Braylon wasn't breathing. And I was like, what do you mean she's not breathing? And hands down, worst day of my life, really. I don't think that anything could ever happen to us that would be as bad as that day was. I remember racing to the hospital. I remember sitting there and then performing CPR on a little girl and nothing happening. And I worked for over an hour on her and nothing happened. I remember holding my baby and there was no life. And it's tough. It was very tough. It's still tough. It's not something that gets easier. I'm sharing this with y'all because even after that, I still worked. I still worked towards my business. I took 2 months off. We needed that time. We needed desperately time to just close ourselves off from the world. I didn't post anything on Facebook. I couldn't even bring myself to do anything. I'm a positive person and I couldn't post something super negative even though I wanted to scream, really. There's still days that I just want to scream. Sorry. But I picked back up in January. And I share this because I know that some of you are going through what you think is the worst thing that could happen in your life. I know you are. And I know you're thinking, I just can't be positive today. I can't do it. I can't be, someone that I'm not, or I can't do whatever you think you can't do. But you can. And I do. It's a daily thing for me, y'all. I wake up in the morning and I make a decision to be positive for the day. And it's not that it's easy, but I'm positive and I know that I'm doing this business for a reason. I know that this is going to pay off for my family in ways that I can't imagine. And I think that's what it really boils down to for me. And this business really has just given me something else to focus on. Rather than me sitting in my bed all day, which is probably what I would be doing if I wasn't doing this. I have my son and he is my drive to keep going. He is my drive to say, you've got this, Mom. I'm still here. You can do this. And so I worked my little butt off for the past few months. I promoted to Emerald in February, and I was like, I'm going for Diamond in March. I'm going for Diamond in March, and it didn't happen. And I didn't let that stop me. I remember specifically sending a message saying, that's okay, I'm going Diamond in April. Like, that's fine. There are months where I watch people promote, and there are months where, maybe you get a little upset and you're like, well, why isn't that me? I've been there, but I stepped right back up the next day and I said, you know what? It can be me. It will be me. And so now I promoted to Diamond, and I can't even tell you what that means for my family right now. I decided to quit my job. And I know some people, a diamond income isn't really what would replace your income, but it doubled my income from working 2 days a week. So I decided that, I want to be home with my son, and he deserves for me to be home with him every single day. I don't really know if this is going to help any of you, this video, but maybe it will. And one day I'll record a nicer video with makeup and that kind of stuff. But that's my story, and that's where I'm at. And it's continuously waking up every single day and deciding to be positive and deciding to focus my time on something greater than myself. I hope that this encourages you, and I hope that you decide that you're worth it, and that you decide that being positive is what's going to really help you. I wish nothing but the best for each of you. We've got this, y'all. Bye.